Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today is part 2, and what we're doing is we're making a junk journal using no digitals. We're using a pattern envelope, we're using the instructions from the pattern, and we're using some pattern paper. Now I started this project making a little fabric pouch for my little journal, and I made this by, well, I put some snaps here to close it. I decorated it with some laces. I hand stitched it right here to close it, and I did line it so it is completely lined. I'm going to set that over to the side while we look at this. Now someone asked me what are the size? You know, I didn't measure this. What I did was I took my pattern, the envelope that your patterns come in, and I folded it in half, and that's what I judged to make my envelope. Now right here, this is, oh goodness, it's about 5.5. Let me get my little special ruler here, and let's see here. It is 5 3/4 by 7, and the flap is approximately 2 inches, and it's lined, so it has the same fabric inside and as out. All right, so that's what started this process of me trying to figure out what I was going to make and how I was going to make it. So we've got our little closure here. Now I am going to be adding some things to this. I thought that we could add maybe a beautiful dangle, in which we made these earlier in a video. I thought that was pretty on there. I also have some buttons and some beads that I've made a long time ago. I thought, well, goodness, that would be really pretty to add on here for a dangle. There's another style of little dangle right here. Maybe that one. I don't know. I kind of like this great big one though. So we could add some different things here. First, before we do that, I'm going to set that over to the side. Yeah, and some crinkled seam binding. I thought that would be really pretty. Let's look at the journal. Now we started this journal together. I have continued a little bit just to get us down the road. We're going to need to put a closure on and maybe finish a little bit more right here. But let me show you what I've done so far. I did place the lace right here, like I was speaking of in the first part 1. At the end of this video, the end screens, I'll pop up the first video in this series, so in case you missed it, you can pop on over there and see how we really kind of got to this point. I've got a ruffled piece of fabric here, a bulb pin, and a little bead, and I put some dangles on my signature. I've got some pins, some safety pins, some beads, and some charms. I thought that was pretty cute. Let's open this up. Now right here, I added some wide Sari silk from Crimson Heart Studios. I added a little bit of satin ribbon just to finish it off on the inside. And as we further open this up, it looks just like this. I added a vintage doily, or maybe it's more like a handkerchief, and it has some embroidery on it. This piece came from 1924 Linens and More. Then we have an instruction part to the pattern itself, that paper, and we made a pocket right here. And I made a piece of ephemera using some coffee dyed paper, and one of the book pages, the pictures, was some print from the books that I showed you in the first video. So if you want to see what book that came from, check out that first video. Then here's some journaling space here. And then we have a pattern for some stitching. And I made a little piece of ephemera here using the same fabric that is that I used for our little clutch, our little fabric envelope to hold our little junk journal. It's held on with a little altered paper clip right here, and we turn it over the page, and you have some journaling space here, and then you can take it off. This is a page topper, and then you have more journaling space here if you wish. Now, do you hear Frankie Francine? I hear her chirping. She's been chirping a lot today. Here's one of those pages from the book in which I showed you in the first video. I just think it's really sweet. Added a little lace here on this page. I did not decorate every single page, but this one has a pocket, and I actually held this in place with a little paper clip. And this is a tea bag that I permanently attached, and you could journal on the back if you wish. I just thought that was super cute. Has a button and some vintage lace on it. I'll pick it up so you can see a little closer. I don't know about you, but when I'm working, whether it's sewing or doing paper crafts, I always like to have my cup of tea. I'm a tea drinker, not a coffee drinker, so I have to have my cup of tea. So I'm going to place that right back on there. I made a little fabric and paper flip. It has a little bit of lace here at the top. It's got some of the instructions from the pattern, and then of course some different types of fabric. Maybe different prints. Maybe you're, making an outfit, and these are your colors that you have, or the styles that you're using. Another one of those pages, I put a little bit of lace with the safety pin and one of those small little price tags. And this little envelope I made using wax with the tissue paper. And I sewed it and added some lace there at the top. And I just popped some ephemera inside. And like I said, there are no digitals in this. We just used items from the pattern itself. So I'll pop that right back in there. I love how that shows through. I think that's really pretty. Right in there just like that. There's a little stamp here that I placed. Lots of journaling space here. There's the center, and this is where we have our little dangle. I really like how that turned out, going with the theme of the sewing. Here's another piece of ephemera that I made with another altered paper clip, and it's an envelope. I actually cut the top off. In the first video you see the top. I used it later on. It was just too big to use in this journal, and I just made a little flip book with some lace on the top, and it just fits just in there just like that, and I decided to paper clip it on. Then on this page, here's the other side of that top of that envelope, and I just made a journaling card. Now, as you can see, I did not ink any of this project. I was thinking, well, if we are kind of looking towards maybe not having the ability to make print digitals, for whatever reason, you don't have a printer, or you don't have an account, or whatever that is. Maybe you don't have any inking either. Maybe you don't have any of that distress ink or the applicator. So I made this whole project without inking, just to show you how cute it can still be, just absolutely adorable without inking. I also used buttons in this project. I didn't put any other bling, just buttons. Buttons, lace, fabric, paper. I thought everyone could probably come across that, even if they went to the thrift store and they bought a shirt for the buttons. they bought a blouse for the lace. There's lots of ways you can get these items. Now this is a waxed piece of tissue paper that comes in the pattern when you get it, and I just added some little pieces of lace on here and made just a little flip page. Pop it in there, and it just looks like this. The little girl sitting, I don't know what she's thinking of. Mother Hubbard's apron. Oh, it's showing you the apron. There you go. And then right here, I have made a little pocket. I made another little pocket with lace. I just put a little piece in there, preparing to sew, preparing the pattern is what that says there on the top. I thought that was appropriate. A little stamp and another one of those tea bags. And once again, it is permanently attached and it fits right in here in the pocket, just like that. I thought that was cute. And then I've got a journaling card right here with an image from that book that I was speaking of, and you could journal on that if you wish. Another stamp, and then the back. This is the back. Now, the complete back right here, there is another little journal right here, and I used, now when in the first video, it showed you that I ironed the envelopes that the pattern came in. I ironed 2 of them. Well, here's the second one, and this is what I did with it. I made another little journal, closing it with a paper clip. I've got a little, this was from, these flowers were from a tablecloth that I purchased at a garage sale, and then I just put some buttons in the center with some string, some thread, just for the center of the flower, a little bit of lace, and some more little flowers right there. And then this is the flap. I added some lace on the inside of the flap. And then inside, what you have here, you basically have lots of little journaling space that you can use any way you wish. There is a pocket here that you can add something if you wish. And there's another, the other side right here, and this is waxed as well. Just another little type of journal that you could make with your pattern paper. Now this fits in the very back right here, and you can find out how you put this together, this cover, with the pocket in the front. Let me show you this. This was my mother's, and it's a little book of ideas for home decorations, and I just think it's really cute. You talk about vintage. This is very old. J.C. Penney Company. My mother's handwriting there was, she was ciphering out some figures. I don't know if it says the date on here. I will look and see. 1949. 1949 is when this was printed. And it just talks about curtains and decorating and slip cover yardage charts and stuff like that. I just thought that was appropriate, and that just fits very nicely right here in this pocket in the front, and then there is a pocket in the back for that extra journal that I made. Now we need to put a closure on here. I thought, how do I want to do this? Do I just want to tie some ribbon around it, some sari silk? Do I want to put an eyelet here and pull it around? I decided that I want to do the portfolio style. I was really concerned about the eyelet, maybe eventually pulling through or pulling apart. I didn't want that to happen. And I got out my 1-inch circles. Now some of these have UV resin, there you can see it now, that has covered, that I have covered my little circle with, and this one does not. And I thought, I have to decide which one are we going to use for this. I'm not sure which one. That one's really sweet. I like that. Let me see if I can move my finger so you can get the idea of these. For some reason I really like that one. This one's really sweet too. I like that one a lot. Here's a pink one. Look at that. That one's very special. And what's this one? Oh, this one's very plain, just like this. It's kind of, oh, did we try this one? The blue. Oh, the blue's pretty too. I really think it's between, well, there's another blue one. Did we try that one? I'm getting confused. It's between this one for me and this one for me. I think it's this pink one's going to win. I also wanted to put a little bit of lace here. Let me set that and two of these, just they're plain cardstock 1-inch circles. I'm going to put that right there. I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to bring in some lace that I thought that we could use to do a little bit more decorating right here. All right, so let's put on our closure, our portfolio style closure right here. You're going to need a 1-inch circle, and you're going to need a hole punched in the center. You probably want to glue two of these together to make it nice and firm, sturdy. Now, my UV resin that's on here makes it very sturdy. I'm going to glue these two together, so there's two more 1-inch circles, and I'm going to add my glue right here and glue these two together. So just pop them on together like this, and I'm just going to run it around just like this to get them to stick together. There we go. All right, so the next thing you'll want to do is you'll want to place the one that you already decided that's going to be your outside on top of the other two you've glued together, and you're going to make a little mark. Then you're going to want to grab your small little hole punch, and you're going to want to punch a hole right there in the center where you've made your mark. The next thing, all right, so then you want to take your two circles, put them together, and get your brad and put it in the center. Oh, come on now, Brad, go in the center. There we go. Open it up. There we go. And then you're going to find your center where you want to place it. I've already found my center right here. I want to place this right there. I've got a little tiny dot right there. Let's see if this is completely open. Okay, I'm going to turn it, whoa, sorry. I'm going to turn this to the side. I'm going to put it right there where that dot is, right here. So I'm going to use my hot glue gun. It's quick, it's easy, it's really great for making videos. And I'm going to pop this right on just like that. Pressing it down to make sure it grabs a hold and gets glued down well. The next thing is we need some type of material for a closure. I've got some ribbon here. I've got some very thin, I think it's 1/8 inch creamy satin ribbon. I thought that would be lovely. But before we put that on, let's talk about getting a little bit more something going on here. I've got a lot going on right here, and I've got something going on here, but I think we need a little something more right here just to balance it out. So what I want to do is I want to glue this on about like this, and it's going to wrap around the back. So I'm going to add my glue right here just to get it placed down where I want it, maybe about right here. Then I'm going to put it on this side and add some more glue so I can wrap it around. I've already sewn in my signature, so it's just going to cover it right there. Also going to give it a little more structure right there. Now, do I want to add some more things? I'm not sure. I've got a few more pieces of lace here. Let's see. I really like this piece, and do I want to add maybe something like this? I don't know, don't think so. Do I want to add something like this? Well, that's a possibility. That's okay. I like that color. I like that color with it. I think I'm going to turn it at an angle like this. So I'm going to add my lace just like that. And then I'm going to roll it over. And I'm going to add some more glue and just pull that lace right on over and get it stuck down. Now I can add some more glue. I'll take my time and add some more glue, but for now that will be just fine. I like this little piece right here. Can't tell you why. I just like it. So I think I want to add it. Don't know, do I want it there or do I want it here? I think I might want it, maybe I want it just like that. I just want a little piece right here. I want to break it up just a little bit. I'll turn it this way. There we go. So now we're looking like this. I'm going to pull this around to the other side. Now I hope you're getting the idea that you don't have to have digitals or any special pieces of ephemera to make something that's really fun, and it really turns out quite nice. I just love this little journal. I think the addition of the laces are nice. I'm not sure about this one. I'm thinking not. I'm just checking out to see maybe where to put. I don't think I want this one. All right, so now it's time to put on the ribbon for the closure. I always like to place my ribbon or my twine or whatever it is that I'm using. Now you're going in between the two circles, the two discs that you've made. You're going in between them. Oh, sure we are. Okay, let's get in between here. There we go. There we go. And I like to tie my knot in the direction in which I'm going to be pulling my string or ribbon. So I'm going to be pulling it in this direction. So I'm going to be tying my knot there. And I'm going to pull it up so it goes up to the brad. Then you'll want to get your scissors and trim off the excess here. And then just pull it around. Now you can pull it around as many times as you want. I actually usually only do it once, but I want to make sure that this journal doesn't have a lot of stress in one spot. So I'm going to pull it 3 times to make sure it has, see how I put it like that? It's not going to put any stress on one special part of your journal spine. You can add a bead. I'm thinking I would like to add a bead to this. I didn't grab one right off, but I also want to add some sort, I think I will add a bead a little bit later, but let's continue on because I wanted to put some kind of dangle on the outside of my pouch. Now I think I'm going to pop it in maybe this way. Yeah, I'm going to pop it in this way. It fits very nicely in the pouch, just like that. Get my snaps on. I'm no seamstress, guys, but I think it's, it's going to work really well. We have the Crinkled seam binding. I will link my scrap cabin shop down below. There is a discount code there for you. And let's see, this is here, a bulb pin right here. Oh, there's a bulb pin right here. Maybe this is the only one we need. It's right here. And yeah, this needs to go, this bead needs to go on first, so I can put it this way. And, but if we put it maybe about right here, I'm going to pin it on. Okay, now Kathy, get it pinned on. All right, it's pinned on. And then I really like this dangle. So it's just buttons and beads and button and beads and buttons and beads. And I just think it it turned out cute. I'm wondering if I can go through that button after I pin this on. How about if I go through this button, or if I put through a button, it might stay, but then, let's see. I'm looking to see how far down it goes. That goes too far. We're going to need to probably put it, that's better. Okay, that's cute. Now, I also think that the ribbon needs to go back behind this little decoration. Now, this is from Chapter 1 Papers, and I did a video on the Dangles. I think it's called Junk Journal Jewelry, and there's a video recently about how to make those. You don't have to have UV resin. You could use, oh, what's that other stuff called? I always forget what that other stuff's called. Anyway, the video tells you all about it. And I'm going to pop this on. So I just made a bow. Put the pin through the bow. Put the pin through the button. Oh my goodness, isn't that turning out cute? Now I'm going to cut that right there, and I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to put another knot right here. I'm going to put a knot on this. I want to make sure that that's not going to come apart. I'm also going to put a little bit of my white glue, which happens to be art glitter glue today. You could use white school glue, something to make sure that your knot is not going to come undone and that it will stay knotted. So cutting that off. Now I'm going to cut this. Maybe about, can't seem to get this completely cut. There we go. Now let's look at this. Oh my goodness. Now wouldn't that be an adorable little gift to give to someone? I just think that turned out special, and no digitals, and all we did was we used fabric, we used buttons, we used lace, and we used papers, and we made something super special. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.